So, today we are gonna be looking at a new game called Astronarch. Hi Chris, welcome. So, Astronarch is kind of like a mix between roguelike and auto battler. How this looks, we'll see in just a moment. Let's jump into a game. So, here we select our team. I have played one partial run so far, just to make myself familiar with the controls and stuff like that. So, let's take a Berserker. Pretty good attack speed, relatively low HP and defense. Has a passive ability. Every character has one passive ability and one activated ability. The passive ability for the Berserker is Frenzy. Your attacks and active ability strikes heal you for 2% max HP and increase your attack by 1. And the active ability is deal 100% attack damage, currently 50, to your target 2 times, activating your passive ability with each strike. Apply Ruin to your target. Ruin reduces healing effect by 60% for 10 seconds. It's always nice to have something like that to counter certain enemies that will try to heal. Let's bring the Bard? I'm not familiar with that at all. I just unlocked it beforehand. You know what? I wanna go with a Gladiator. Gladiator, decent HP, decent attack speed, high attack, okay defense. Permanently increase your max HP by 10 for every battle your party have been victorious. Is the passive ability. And the active is deal 150% attack damage. If your target has 35 max HP or less, deal double damage. That's kind of like an execution ability. And let's also bring the Cleric. The Cleric has pretty low HP, relatively low attack and defense, decent speed actually, relatively low MP consumption. Gladiator is pretty low at that as well, and has deal 50% attack damage to your target when you heal a hero by any means. Gain shield equal to 30% of your healing received. And Bless, heal the weakest adjacent hero for 10% max HP and remove all stacks of a random negative effect. So yeah, let's go with this team and jump into the game. Greetings heroes, do you know why you are here? This is the day of the Astronarch after all. Astronarch? Centuries ago it was foretold that an evil would enter the realm and a group of hidden guardians would surface to defeat it. The guardians were said to be born of the sky and thus became known as the Astronarch. Who are you? A friend. I sensed the day of the Astronarch was upon us and traveled here to guide you. There is more to discuss, but time is fleeting. Let's make haste. The capital will be targeted. We will meet at the city gate. Before you go, I shall provide a blessing. We can gain 10% max HP at all times, 15% defense at all times, 10% attack at all times, or 15% lower cost of using the active abilities. Let's see. The Berserker's healing scales with max HP. The Gladiator has a lot of max HP, and the Cleric's heal scales with max HP, so maybe increasing the max HP of all my people is gonna be good with this party. And then we have 3 areas. We have the ruins. The barbaric reptiles and constructs of the ruins are known to ward off intruders with their stalwart defenses and ability to use a target's own mana against them. We have the forests. The many creatures of the forest have grown accustomed to heavily armored travelers, bypassing their defenses and slowing any attempts at healing their wounds. And we have the caves. The caves are home to creatures who seek those strongest in health and speed and have evolved over time to combat such targets. So this is generally a description of what type of enemies you will face. I think for now, let's go to the ruins, and there we have our first battles. We can switch and swap around between the different areas, so we'll be seeing difference. A pint-sized pulverizer is our first encounter. We fight a roaming sentinel. Has very low HP but pretty high attack. Attack speed 2.5, that means how long it takes them to attack once. So 2.5 is actually pretty slow. Our units have all like something between 1.5 and 2 right now. MP 74. Each unit gains 10 MP, I believe, per turn. And once they reach the MP value, they will use their active skill. Defense reduces incoming damage by a certain percentage. The formula is a bit more complicated for this case, but generally 30 defense means you will have 30% longer to live than if you had 0 defense. So this enemy has Recycle, gain 10% of the MP expended by enemies, gain 1 Negate. Negate prevents a negative effect from being applied. If applied to an enemy, prevents a positive effect instead. And we have Apprehension Protocol, deal 150 attack damage to your target and stun them for 2 seconds. I think I'm gonna let the Gladiator take the hits. As you can see by these lines, we can see who is attacking who. And for now, let's just begin the battle. This is the negate they have. Our Gladiator almost died there, but that's not a huge deal right now. We have the damage dealt values here. Obviously the cleric is dealing less. The Berserker needs some time to ramp up. The Gladiator is great at executing low health targets, so it's not a surprise they are at the top here. Gladiator took 766 damage and cleric healed 77. Well, we also have morale. We gained 3 morale. Whenever a unit dies, you lose 1 morale. And if you manage to beat an enemy without anyone dying, you gain a couple morale back. We have gold that we can spend on shops. And here we have our first item selection. Bandit Hood. Gain hidden. Your attacks have a 5% chance to find 1 gold. Unique. Hidden means while you have visible allies, you cannot be targeted. That would be interesting on something like the Berserker. Berserker has pretty fast attack speed, so that means higher chances to find gold. Well, Safety Slime. Apply a poison to attackers for 3 damage every 3 seconds. Poison never expires and ignores defense and shields. It also gives quite a bit of defense. That would be a good item for our Gladiator, I would say. And then Lich Wraps gives us 10 starting MP and -4 on the cost of the ability. We could put that, for example, on the Cleric to heal a bit more, or really on anyone, just so they would use their abilities a bit more. Right now, I'm mostly concerned about our gladiator staying alive, so I'm gonna go with the safety slime, just to increase their defense a little. Let's move over to the forest. A lone wolf. Dire wolf. Your attacks deal 10% additional attack damage for every bleed effect on your target, and apply a bleed for 10 damage over 10 seconds. Passive ability. And Howl calls another dire wolf into battle, active ability. So we want to kill this one as fast as possible. Not much we can do here, other than make sure he hits the guy with the safety slime. So let's go. We should be able to kill this one fairly quickly. But if they manage to get their skill off, we might be in trouble. There we go. We get a potion, Bogjar. Reduce the speed of all enemies by 40% for 6 seconds. Reducing the speed actually increases the number, so they attack slower. It's a bit weird, but that's just how it works. Bound elements, 10% speed. Every 3 times you attack, apply frost and a burn for 75% attack damage over 10 seconds to your target. Frost reduces the enemy's speed and increases their active ability cost. Burn deals damage, ignoring defense and shields. That could be good on something like the Berserker. Increasing speed is nice because the Berserker gains attack every time they hit the target. It also triggers the effect of them because they have a fast attack speed, and they gain attack as they strike targets. So the burn will become stronger over time. We also have Enchanter's Tome, plus 20 starting MP, gain immunity to silence. Silence makes MP drain instead of building up for 3 seconds. And then we have Cobra's Reach. Your attacks poison your target, dealing 5 damage every 3 seconds for the rest of combat. And also grants 10% speed. That could also be nice on our Berserker. If we wanna go with more poison, maybe take a little slower approach, use our healing to slow down the fight and let the poison accumulate. That would be a way to do it. Frost is also permanent, so we could use bound elements to slow down the fight as well. I am definitely gonna go with one of these speed items. Let's go with the Cobra's Reach, applying poison. Let's go for another normal battle in the ruins. We have a Stonework Gargoyle. Gain 50 frail attack, defense and speed. Frail meaning every attack we do reduces this value by 5. Multiple frail effects are all reduced when attacked. So they have 10 stacks of 5 attack, defense and speed each stack, and they lose a stack whenever they are attacked. So they start out very strong, but will get weaker as the fight goes on. They also have Cursed Gaze, deal 25 piercing attack damage to all enemies. That's only 54. Stun enemies in the front row for 3 seconds. Stun means prevents attacks and active abilities from charging. Silences enemies in the back row. So units we want to be able to attack, we should put in the back row. The Berserker especially. Units that we want to be able to use their active ability should be in the front row, because silence is actually harsher than stun. Because stun prevents the active ability from charging, while silence actually drains your MP as well. And of course the gladiator is gonna be our tank again. Poison is stacking up. These two are stunned right now. It looks like we'll be just okay. Berserker dealt quite a bit of damage. I think the white is the normal hits, blue is the ability, and purple is the poison here. Primal Thirster. 10 attack. When your target is defeated, gain 10 attack and 10% speed for 5 seconds. Stun Barb. 10% speed. Your attacks have a 20% chance to stun your target for 0.5 seconds. That would be another good item to put on the Berserker. Mage Seeker. When an enemy uses an active ability, deal 50 piercing damage to them. I don't think that's gonna be too relevant. Let's go with the Stun Barb for now. Berserker is now down to 1.3 seconds per attack. Pretty nice. Let's go to this event so we have the most possible options, because we can go from the top row to the bottom and vice versa. The Altar of Altruism. The heroes discover an ancient and ominous altar. The inscription reads, "He who has no charity deserves no mercy. Sal, Holy Mother." There is a pile of gold in the offering bowl. We can pray to gain 50 max HP permanently, but that costs us 50 gold. On all heroes. That's not bad. We can offer 5 gold for 5 morale. Reasonable. Or we can steal the gold, but then we lose 50 max HP permanently. We can also leave and do nothing and just lose 2 morale. I think I'm gonna pay the 50 gold for the 50 max HP permanently. That's actually a pretty decent effect. The heroes offer a substantial sum. With a clean conscience and light pockets, they push onwards. That probably means we don't want to visit the merchant just yet. Let's push onwards to this normal battle. 2 enemies now. I am Ent. We have an Ent. Ent heals allies for 1% of their max HP per second. Passive ability. And active is allies gain a shield equal to 10% of their max HP. Frontline is a Vineling. The Ent is actually very squishy, so if we had a way to attack the backline reasonably, then we could probably take them out very quickly. The Vineling not so much. Your attacks reduce your target speed by 3% and apply Ruin, so they will be harder to heal. It has Lash. Deal 50% attack damage and apply a bleed for 50% attack damage over 10 seconds to your target and any adjacent enemies. Active ability. Adjacent means in the same 4 space squares. So like this, the bleed would hit only the gladiator, but then also we wouldn't be able to heal with the cleric's bless ability. So maybe we position something like this. Keep the Berserker in their own lane so they don't get affected by bleed. Although the Berserker can heal up quite a bit with their frenzy, so maybe it isn't too bad if they get affected by bleed. It's also just not necessary to have them in peril there. Let's just hope we can overwhelm the Vineling quickly, and then the Ent will not prove that much of a threat, because the Ent is mostly about healing. If we can... yeah, that should be fine. The heal takes care of the bleeding. There we go. Brain Sage. For every 50 MP you spend, heal the weakest hero for 100 HP over 10 seconds. That would be good. Adds to our healing capabilities. Whirlwind attack. Your attacks increase your speed by 2%. That would really work well on the Berserker, increasing his speed even further. And also giving him some more attack, which is nice. Tower Shield, 75 HP. At the start of the combat, gain 30 frail defense. Protected. Protected means it cannot be removed. So... yeah, let's go with the Whirlwind attack. Let's make our Berserker the kind of like attack speed carry of the party. We only have 49 gold. There won't be enough to really buy many things at the merchant, so let's go for the event. A pale figure. Your heroes are approached by a slouched pale figure. Pale man, who among you is healthy with vigor? I require sustenance. Allow me to feed upon you and I will bestow you with the most valuable treasure. Costs me half of my morale to do, or a random hero loses 5 attack, 5 defense and 5% speed permanently to gain a special item. That's pretty rough. I think I'm gonna run. All heroes gain 5% speed next combat. I guess I could lose 11 morale. That's not that much. Sure. Vampiric Guard. Attack and active ability damage you take is reduced by 30% and is instead dealt as bleed damage over 10 seconds. Unique. That gives us time to dispel it, or if we have a way to prevent bleeding, that would be very nice. Pale man, my apologies and sincere gratitude. This item was left by the foul beast that cursed me. Please take it. Not sure what to put it on, but we can decide on that once we are in a fight or are preparing for a fight. The heroes discover an overturned caravan. As they approach, shadowy figures start off into the distance. Man. Oh, thank the Astronarch, your adventures came along. I owe you my life. Please, if you're willing to help me get my caravan back in working shape, you can take any item from my stock. We could intimidate them, but we would lose 7 morale, or we could agree, start with 25% less max HP next combat. That might be a little bit of a problem, but it's probably not gonna cost us 7 morale. So let's agree and select an upgraded item. The heroes spend some time mending the caravan, and the man is true to his word with their reward. And we get an upgraded item now. Primal Thirster. Upgraded. 20 attack. When your target is defeated, gain 20 attack and 20% speed for 5 seconds. Not bad. Book of the First. 100 HP. Every 4 times you attack, you and a random adjacent ally gain negate. That is very nice. And Salem's Shadow Boots. At the start of combat, gain 40 attack for 6 seconds. 40 is a lot. And it gives 20% speed. That wouldn't be bad on the Berserker either. But I think I'm gonna go with the Book of the First. Put that on the Gladiator for now because it gives HP. But later it's probably the Cleric who's gonna be using this. Gaining negates mean we can prevent bleeds from being applied, so the Vampiric Guard might now be pretty good. Next on we go to a merchant. We don't have a lot of gold, but let's see. High Elf Claymore. 10 attack. Your attacks have a 20% chance to deal an additional 100% attack damage to your target. Decent item. Is great on a unit that has a lot of attack or scales well with attack. Rod of Casting. 10% speed. Your first 10 attacks gain 3 MP. Tundra Talisman. Plus 15 starting MP. Apply frost to all enemies every 3 seconds. That is great at slowing the enemies down. I might actually purchase that. Symbiote. Plus 50 HP. Reduce the cost of your active ability by 3 each time it is used. That would be nice for the Cleric, perhaps. And we have the legendary, the unique items, or whatever they're called. Seeker of Virtue. At the start of combat, gain a major blessing for every 5 morale you have. Unique. A large increase to attack, defense, or speed, or heal over time effect is a major blessing. Ooh, not bad. Life-Giving Chamber. At the start of combat, take piercing damage equal to 50% of your max HP. All other heroes gain max HP equal to 25% of the initial damage, and begin healing for the same amount over 10 seconds. So you can basically transfer HP from one hero to another. can be useful, especially if you have one hero with a lot of HP, like the Gladiator, and want to move that over to others or something like that. And we have Potion, Bottle, Blizzard. All enemies gain 5 Frost and have their attack reduced by 25 for 6 seconds. Not a bad potion. Water of Life. Restore a random knocked out hero to 40% max HP and regain any morale lost. That seems very nice as well. We can also upgrade items. We can reroll the merchant stock. And we can sell items we don't want. I think I'm gonna save my money to get the upgrades later. Because these are otherwise pretty hard to get. Let's go for an elite fight. I think we are pretty strong at the moment. The Ancient Defender. They have pretty decent HP. Slow attack speed but high damage per attack. Decent defense, but we don't care too much about that because we have poison. Fracture. Once defeated, a roaming sentinel appears. Gain 2 negate, passive ability. The negate will be gone very quickly with the safety slime at the Cobra's reach. Fortification Protocol. Deal piercing damage to all enemies equal to your defense. Gain 10 defense. So the longer the fight goes on, the harder that ability will hit, and also the more defensible this enemy will be. I think we're pretty well prepared for this enemy. So let's go. We're starting to apply the poison. They have 10 defense for now. Gladiator is bleeding quite a bit from our vampire item. Gladiator is down, but we should be good here. We lost 1 morale instead of gaining 3 because we lost 1 unit here, but we do gain an ability orb. Drop on a hero to improve their active ability. That is very nice. Fortifying Brew. All heroes gain 250 shield and 25 defense. What do I have here? Ah, Bokjar, reducing the speed of all enemies. Let's see what we can get here. Bone Spike Armor. Attackers bleed for 20 damage over 10 seconds. How much does the safety slime do over 10 seconds? Yeah, it's 9 damage. So this is almost double the damage, but it ends after 10 seconds while this keeps going. Frozen Shell. 15 defense. Increase your defense by 1 for every active stack of frost. Protected. That seems very nice if we get frost going. And that's the bandit hood again. Frozen Shell, I think, serves us better than the Bone Spike Armor, but it's not great just yet. Will be later on though. Okay, now we can improve the active ability of a unit. This will, for most of them, double their effect. This goes up to 300% attack damage. This goes up to 3 strikes and applying ruin to an adjacent enemy instead of just a targeted one. And the cleric goes up to healing 20%. I think I want to upgrade the cleric's ability right now. We need a bit more healing, I think. Let's give you the Frozen Shell to increase your defense. Actually, I might want to switch these things around. That might be good. The extra 100 HP. And onwards to the next fight. Our Berserker is now clearly the carry of the group with 60% of total damage dealt by him. But the Berserker is also capable of healing any splash damage they would receive. Spire Sentry. Well, that's definitely a reference I can get behind. Fast Charge. Gain 250 shield. Instead of dealing damage, attacks deal 5 MP from all enemies. Passive ability. So their attacks don't actually damage us, they steal MP from all our units. I-beam. Deal 100% attack damage to all enemies and burn them for 200% attack damage over 10 seconds. These seem kind of scary, but they have very low HP. We can split the damage, not really, because these don't really attack. And they hit all enemies. That's a bit scary. 250 shield. The burn ignores shield, sadly. Bokjar would slow down the MP stealing they do. That might be necessary. Let's see. We might actually be okay. We have a lot of damage. And things are going quite slow. There is the burn though. And that's the fight over. Nice. Hexback. Plus 15 starting MP at the start of combat. Reduce the attack and defense of all enemies by 20 for 4 seconds. That is not bad. Giant's Club. 10 attack. Your attacks deal additional damage equal to 3% of your current HP to your target. That's good for base attacks for units with high HP. Our Gladiator is up to 1000 HP, so that would be 30 extra damage for each hit. Not bad. Crack Cleaver. Plus 50 HP. Your attacks reduce your target's defense by 2. That is also something I like. But I think I'll go with the Hex Bag on the Cleric, just to make the early stages of the fights a bit more accessible. Let's go for another elite battle, because we do want to gain these ability orbs and similar things. This is the Forest Guardian. Oh, it's a boss enemy, by the way. Resistant to stun, disarm, and silence. That, I think resistant means they are half as effective. Attackers gain 5 MP and grant you 10 MP. Heal for 40% of any enemy healing effects. Oof. Our Berserker is healing with every hit, and our Cleric is healing quite a bit too. Deal 50% attack damage and 50% piercing attack damage to all enemies. Active ability. That is manageable, I think. I wonder if there's something we can do here to make this a bit easier. Maybe reduce their speed. Their DPS is... just with their basic attack, I think our Gladiator will live for about 20 seconds. "20 seconds might just be good enough to take this guy down. They will gain 40% of our healing though. Well, we're not healing that much. Well, let's keep our hand on the potions just in case. Yeah, no, this guy will go down pretty quickly actually. Although the bleeds are... no, this is just a Vampiric Guard. Yeah, there we go. Didn't take any damage. Well, didn't lose anyone. Bone Spike Armor again. Symbiote. I want that for my Cleric, I think. Noble Ward. 50 HP, 10 death. At the start of combat, gain 2 negate. That can be nice. I think I'll go for the Symbiote though, to increase the healing our Cleric can do. And I will upgrade this one again. Although, the Forest... they will slow down our attempts at healing our wounds. And the boss is gonna be in the forest. So it will be a type of enemy that can do things like that. So I might not want to upgrade our Cleric's ability. I think I'll go with the Gladiator instead. Just have that huge hit. Helps us end fights a bit faster. Okay, let's see what this merchant offers. Ancient Codex. While at or below 50% max HP, your active ability costs 25 less MP. Ooh, that is not bad. Reverberating Bulwark. Attackers deal 30% attack damage to themselves. While enemies usually have much higher attack damage than we do, so that's a lot of damage we could deal to them if we put that on our tank. Book of the First. Every 5 times you attack, you and a random adjacent ally gain negate. It's this thing, but less useful, well, less powerful, unupgraded. 10 starting MP, 5 attack. Your attacks deal 1 MP from your target. Interesting. Safety Slime and Giant's Club again. We can also upgrade something here. We could upgrade the Book of the First. Every 3 times you attack, you and a random adjacent ally gain negate. That would help us a lot with dealing with negative effects. We could upgrade the Whirlwind Axe to ramp up even more quickly. This increases the stun chance and the speed. This increases the poison and the speed. This increases this power of the effect, but not the... this one, 40% bleed. This one just doubles in effect. As does this. Same for this. Most items just double in effect. I think I'm gonna go with the Whirlwind Axe. Get that speed upgraded over the course of a battle. Oftentimes I feel like the best use for your gold is to upgrade your items, but obviously not always. Cave Crawler is a boss again. Has relatively low DPS for an elite. Slow attack speed, but very low MP cost. Gain 150 frail defense. Attackers take 10 piercing damage. Passive ability. That's gonna take a while to get rid of. It's a lot of defense. Is that already included in defense stat? I sure hope so. Because 170 plus another 150 on top of that would be crazy. Caustic Web. Poison your target and an adjacent enemy for 50% attack damage. Every 3 seconds. Reduce the speed of enemies hit by 30% for 5 seconds. Active ability. Speed of enemies hit and an adjacent enemy. So either we have the gladiator alone, but I do want to be able to heal the gladiator. Dispel these poisons that way. Although maybe with the Book of the First we don't need it. We'll gain 1 negate every 4 attacks, so that's every 6.8 seconds. This thing takes 5.4 seconds to charge their ability, so having some dispelling around would be nice. I think in case our gladiator falls, we want the Berserker to be attacked next because of their self-healing. Let's see how this goes. Looks like we won't have much of a problem here. There is now a poison on the target. This one got negated. Yeah, not a problem at all. There's another Cobra's Reach. Forgotten Idol. 50 HP, 10 starting MP. Your active ability deals 75% piercing attack damage to your target and Safety Slime again. Active ability deals 75% piercing attack damage. Cleric doesn't have a huge attack damage, but we are going to be using his ability quite a bit with the symbiote. So that is not terrible. There's also an ability orb this time. This one upgrades the passive ability instead of the active one. Just another Cobra's Reach. Replace the Stun Barb. Move the Stun Barb maybe over to the Cleric. Sure, let's stack that poison. Sturdy ability orb. Drop on a hero to improve their passive. We could give him an extra 80 HP right now. Double the scaling. Or we could give the Berserker double the healing and double the attack gain. I think I do want to build around the Berserker's... Well, I am already building around the Berserker's passive ability. The Clerics isn't that important, I don't think. Or at least not in our build. So it's either the Gladiator for better tank abilities or the Berserker for better attack scaling. I'll go with the Berserker. Let's move on. Final Feral Foray. Feral Beast. These guys seem familiar. Feral Beast. Your attacks apply ruin to your target and apply a poison for 10 attack damage every 3 seconds. That will deal with our negate pretty easily. Go Rabbit. Increase your speed by 20%. Very low MP cost. We have to take this one out fairly early. Luckily it's getting targeted by everyone because it's the only unit in the front line. Then we have a Feral Druid and a Feral Witch Doctor in the backline. For every defeated ally, reduce your active ability cost by 10 MP and increase your attack by 20. Fully heal the weakest ally and apply a poison to them for 50% of the amount healed every 3 seconds. Ooh. Interesting. Witch Doctor, your attacks reduce your target's attack and defense by 2 passive ability. That sucks. Hex, silence a random enemy and apply negate. Oof, these seem very annoying. I don't think the Feral Druid is a huge problem. Everyone will attack the Gladiator. Can we take that? The Witch Doctor actually deals quite a bit of damage, as well as the Feral Beast. Hey puppets, welcome! With the Hex bag, we might be able to finish the Feral Beast fairly quickly. I think I want the Druid to be tanked by the Berserker. Gain shield equal to 30% of your healing received. That's received, so that's not gonna be a whole lot. Yeah, I think we want it like that. Any item changes we want to make? I don't think so. Now comes the full heal, but now this guy is dying to poison quickly. Our Gladiator is in a very bad spot right now. Ah, almost managed it. With the File of Sorrows, with the enemies are silenced and gain ruin, that would have been okay. But we only lost 1 morale. There's another Whirlwind Axe. Serrated Ripper. Your attacks cause your target to bleed for 30% additional attack damage over 10 seconds. Could also be good on the Berserker. Impaler. 10 attack. All of your damage is dealt as if the enemy has 15 less defense. None of these really excite me. A second Whirlwind Axe could be good though. Honestly, the poison damage is a really small part of our Berserker's damage output. Maybe it's better to have 2 Whirlwind Axes on him. We could have the Cleric help with poisoning a little bit. And onwards to the boss fight. The boss is the Beast of the Wild. 2400 HP. It's a bit more than the elites we fought. 40 def, attack 180. Not crazy DPS. Predator. Your attacks apply ruin to your target. So we heal for 60% less. And a bleed for 20% attack damage over 10 seconds. Also not nice. Feast, deal 10% piercing attack damage. for every bleed effect on the target. And consume a positive effect, healing for 15% max HP, if successful. Yeah, here the poison might be very useful. Maybe I want to move all the poison to the Berserker, although the Whirlwind Axe scaling is also gonna be very valuable. The Hexpack might be less very valuable here, but I don't think replacing it with the Stun Barb is such a great idea. And I think we still want the Gladiator to be our tank. The Book of the Frost will certainly be nice. Silenced and gain Ruin. They do heal. Fortifying Brew gives us defense. It doesn't help with the bleeding and the piercing damage. So that might not be that good. Probably using a Bogjar here early to reduce their speed. So they do less normal damage and apply less bleedings as well. I think this looks fine. Nice. Neb's Crystal Weaver. At the start of combat, and when you use your active ability, gain a shield equal to 150% of your attack and gain 5 defense. Nice. That would be a great item to put on our Gladiator, I think. That would also be nice with something like a Symbiote. When you attack, if your target has 10 frost, remove all frost and deal 350 attack damage to your target and any adjacent enemies. Powerful if you're building around frost. Seeker of Virtue. At the start of combat, gain a major blessing for every 5 morale you have. Yep, I want the Crystal Weaver. We also get a blue and a red ability orb. 42 gold. Hi Hero Sound, welcome. Okay, so now we can recruit one additional party member. Who do we need? We have the Brawler, will be an option. When attacked, either deal attack damage to the attacker or gain a shield before being hit. Combo, deal attack damage to your target. The second time this ability is used, deal an additional 150%. The third time, stun your target for 3 seconds. Interesting. Interesting. Some stun could be nice. Frostmancer. Attacks against you and your attacks and your active ability apply 1 frost. Passive ability. Deal 100% attack damage to all enemies. For each stack of frost on the enemy, deal an additional 15% and stun them for 0.25 seconds. Okay. Could also see that. The Bard with bleeds instead of dealing damage. If in the front row, increase the attack of all heroes by 6. If in the back row, heal all heroes for 10% of their max HP over 10 seconds. Interesting as well. What would we want right now? When you use your active ability. The Gladiator is actually a very nice use of this thing because he has a pretty low MP cost and high, at least decently high attack value. And it scales his defense up. The Assassin can hit the backline. That might be important. Expert. Gain hit in your attacks, poison your target, dealing 10% attack damage every 3 seconds. You target the back row first while in the front row. And Garrot, deal 150% attack damage and silence your target. If your target is defeated while it is silenced from this ability, gain 40 MP. That would also be quite exciting. I think I like the Assassin the most here. And let's continue on. Heroes, I am glad you made it. The town stirs. It is upon us. What is it? I know it to be a great evil, doomed to wander the skies for an eternity. Searching for fragments it lost in a battle long past. Fragments? Lost soul. It traveled as a single being, forged of millions. It was almost defeated long ago. Much of its structures shattered to the stars. Its weakness? It will turn even the most valorous soldier into an agent of its desires. As the Astronarch, you are resistant to its corruption. You're the key to its defeat. Let's make haste. Be wary of its corruption, heroes. Allow me to aid you once more. The tower shield gain by all heroes is increased by 30%. Works well with this thing, but it's okay, I guess. Normal enemies can no longer be found in events. No, I don't care too much about that. 7 of Cups, double the effect of potions. That would be good. Wheel of Fortune, elites always drop ancient items. So the orange ones. That sounds quite exciting. Let's go with that. Let's also give you the Crystal Weaver. Let's move the Cobra's Reach to the Assassins. To the Assassin. Both of them, I guess. Stumbarb can go on the Berserker now. And, well, let's look at what our map types are. The Allies. A home to cut purses and villainy. The cursed creatures of the allies can bleed you dry in more ways than one. So, bleeding. The streets. Normally a safe place for the common folk, the people of the streets have now been corrupted and imbued with strong magical abilities. Which we can counter with our assassin to some degree. The sewer. A filthy haven to only the most resilient creatures. This environment will test your fortitude and stifle your healing. That's probably the place we want to avoid. Most of the time. Let's go for a battle in the alleys. The tag team. Back alley brawler. Second wind. While below 50% max HP, heal 3% max HP per second. Passive ability. Suplex. Deal piercing damage equal to 25% of your target's max HP. Ooh. That's kind of counters our gladiator a bit. I'm gonna use the ability orb on the Berserker again to increase his attack scaling. This increases the damage, doesn't help with the silence. I think I'll go with the bless again. Piercing damage, huh? Might as well put these things on. Currently with damage we take is split between the Berserker and the Gladiator. Berserker heals 40 HP with every hit. Yeah, the Berserker might be tanky enough to be in the front line here. Sure. Especially considering they only need to be around for the first... Ooh. Okay, that is fine. Here comes the healing. Nice. Saint's Vow. Increase your max HP by 20%, by 20 per second. Does not increase your current HP. Interesting. That makes our healing much more potent. Will probably be interesting on the Gladiator. Crack Lever. Your attacks reduce your target's defense by 2. That will go well on the Berserker, I guess. And then Seeker of Virtue again. I like the upgraded Saint's Vow. Let's put the Book of the First on every 4 times you attack, so higher attack speed is better. Saint's Vow is very strong. I can see that. Well, this is my first real run. Hey Maxwell, welcome! So I don't really know my way around things just yet. Let's take a look at what we encounter in the streets. Guard Oath. Gain 100 frail defense, gain 5 negate. Deal 100% attack damage and disarm your target. That is probably better if it goes on a gladiator, so yeah. Positioning looks okay right now. Stubborn Fool. Apply a minor curse to all enemies every 3 seconds. Passive ability. Ooh, that is annoying. Deal 150% attack damage to a random enemy. Active ability. We might want to switch things up. So the assassin targets the fool. No, I think we want to focus on the Guard Oath. Do we? We do have the poison stacking, so... I think we'll be alright like this. Now comes a big heal. Nice, that worked out quite well. Bottled Blizzard. All enemies gain 5 frost and have their attack reduced by 25 for 6 seconds. That is nice. Enchanter's Chainmail, 15 death, gain immunity to burn, unique. Sounds good. Heal 2% max HP every 2 seconds. Ooh, that is tempting as well. Stun Barb. I don't think I want that. Let's go with the Enchanter's Chainmail. That seems like it would be very nice against some enemies who do use burn. Stay on the streets right now. Another Guard Oath and a Guard Captain. Increase enemy active ability costs by 25 each time they are used. Passive ability. Order, deal 150 attack damage to your target. All allies change their target to match yours. Active ability. Could do something like... No, not like this. Like this. So you tank the Guard Oath at first, but eventually the Guard Captain moves things over to the Gladiator after 6 seconds. Can we take 6 seconds of beating from the Guard Oath? That's gonna be... about 790 damage. And we heal... Yeah, we should be able to out-heal these 6 seconds of damage time on the Berserker. That is if we don't stun anyone. And now the Gladiator gets targeted instead. Frontliner. Ooh, our Gladiator is down. Berserker is going quickly now. Searing Edge. 10% speed. Your attacks burn your targets. Cobra's Reach again. And Shadow Blade. Your attacks deal an additional 30% attack damage to different random enemy. That could be nice with on the Berserker as well. With a scaling attack. Might be better than a Stun Barb. Let's go back to the allies. Oh! Card Shark. quite literally. Rough skin. Attackers bleed for 15 attack damage over 10 seconds. Passive ability. That's not great for us. Especially with the Berserker. That is scary. 2-card Monte. Deal 150 attack damage. Attack damage to your target and reduce their defense by 15. Hit a second enemy with the same effect. Huh. Fleetfoot Mugger. Gain hidden, gain 100 frail attack. Can't perform attacks. Passive ability. Okay. Gain hidden, gain 100 frail. Deal 300 attack damage and steal a random positive effect from your target. Active ability. 44 MP. That will be 600 damage each 4.4 seconds. That is pretty scary. We don't want the Berserker to be the target of both of them, that's for sure. You can't hit the... yeah, because he's hidden. So, while you have visible allies, you cannot be targeted. We could have someone else take the hits of the Mugger. So our Gladiator doesn't get bursted, but I'm not sure if that's gonna work well enough. We might want to use an item here. Maybe the Fortifying Brew? Maybe. Can we switch our potions? We can. Maybe the Bottled Blizzard instead then. Let's slow them. Looks like that would have killed our Gladiator without the potion. The Impaler, all of your damage is dealt as if the enemy had 15 less defense. Royal Morningstar, plus 10 attack, minus 20% speed. Your attacks have a 20% chance to stun your target for 2 seconds. That sounds very nice. Book of the First again. Let's go with the Morningstar. I will give this to my Berserker. We'll slow them down a bit. But the stun should be very nice. Shadowblade, I guess, goes on the Assassin for now. Let's visit the Merchant. Haldonir's Cursed Blade. You heal for 50% of your attack and active ability damage. 50%! That's a decent amount. Deathbringer. Your attacks have a 5% chance to deal an additional 666% piercing attack damage. Oh, that could be so good on the Berserker. Soul Slicer, your attacks deal 100% additional attack damage to your target if they have any shield. Ooh, quite nice as well. Ascension Cloak. The first time you are reduced below 35 max HP, redirect one random enemy targeting you to their next target. That would be nice as well. Makes it much easier to do off-tanking things. I think I definitely want to buy an upgrade though. Maybe on the Whirlwind Axe again. And basically we just upgrade this Whirlwind Axe and then we don't need this anymore. Or rather we have the same effect. We could buy a Deathbringer. I think I'm gonna sell the Frozen Shell actually and maybe buy another upgrade. Saint's Vow could be something. Crystal Weaver. Crystal Weaver is good too. Or doubling that effect. 40% chance to stun for 2 seconds. That's just great crowd control. I also like the symbiote upgrade, honestly. Sure, let's go with that. The Vampiric Guard would sell for 40. No, that's fine. Let's go for another normal battle in the streets. Doomsayer. Attackers grant you 5 MP passive ability. So the more enemies attack them, the faster they can cast their skills. Apocalypse. Apply Doom to all enemies. Active ability. Oh. Doom. After 6 seconds, take damage equal to 80% of your max HP, reduced by defenses and shields. In Preachers, attackers lose 5 MP. Passive ability. Holy Flame. Deal 150 attack damage to your target. Your target and any adjacent enemies burn for 150% attack damage over 10 seconds. You and all allies gain Divine for 3 seconds. I think I want to focus on the Doomsayer here. Maybe we can, like, off-tank this guy with the Cleric. Cleric can heal itself to keep itself alive. That is decent HP the Cleric has as well. Why does it say burn on this guy? This guy deals burn damage. You know what? If we have the Cleric off tank, might as well use the Enchanter's Chainmail then. That should work. Here comes the Doom. But we finished the fight before it went off. Fool's Crown. Attacks have a 50% chance to grant you a minor blessing. Do minor blessings stack? If so, that could also be a pretty decent tank item. There's another Giant's Club. The High Elf Claymore. You know what? I'll take the Giant's Club. In case we need our Gladiator to go aggressive, that would be a great item for them. Fleetfoot Magor. Ah, these guys again. The ones that don't attack, but instead just cast their max skill. Garboid. All enemies are poisoned for 20% attack damage at the start of combat. Oh, at the start of combat. Deal 150 attack damage to your target and move them away from their adjacent allies. Move them away from their adjacent allies, so that is annoying. We can cure the poison with the Cleric. We don't need any other negates. Well, we don't need negates mid-battle at least. Actually gonna switch these around. And I think that's it. We will dispel the poison over time. Our Gladiator and Berserker both died. But our assassin is going off. Oh, that was a rough one. We lost 2 morale here. Deal 50% attack damage and deal apply 2 frost. Stunning and per ability cost. Your active ability increases your speed by 10%. We could give that to the cleric, but the cleric doesn't really benefit from normal attacks that much, so it's not great. Could give it to the Berserker instead of something else. But I think the Whirlwind Axe is better at upgrading speed. This one will give 10% speed after 5 attacks. Yeah, on the assassin, the Whirlwind Axe is definitely better, I think. This gives starting MP as well, though. I'll take it. Not quite sure what to do with it. I think it might be better than the stun barb on the cleric for now. Gravedigger. Heal for 1% max HP every 2 seconds, increasing the effect by 1% each time. Getting hit by an attack has a 20% chance to reset this effect. That should be no problem. We also have Ruin on the from the Berserker. The enemy who has dealt the most damage takes 200% attack damage, 640, and is stunned for 5 seconds. Oof. 640? That will one-shot our assassin. No, I don't think it quite will. Yeah, it won't. We have some defense to counteract that. But still, that's a rough hit. Base DPS isn't too high. I think we can leave everything as is. Hope we stun him a bunch of time with the Berserker. Our assassin took a bunch of damage, but now the Berserker will probably catch up. So the next hit... Nope. Hit the assassin again. That sucks. Helm of the Mad King. Attackers increase your attack by 8 and speed by up 8%. What? Attack by 8 and speed by 8%? That's ridiculous. Your attacks apply Ruin, Frost, Silence or Poison for 50 damage every 3 seconds to your target and any adjacent enemies. These are some powerful items. Your attacks deal an additional 35% attack damage to all enemies. Ooh, also not bad. Ruin, Frost, Silence or a Poison for 50 damage every 3 seconds. That seems just so much better than Cobra's Reach. This is 5 damage poison, this is 50 damage poison and hits 2 targets. And it will sometimes do other things. Ruin is probably not that great, but all the others are good. Helm of the Mad King on the Berserker would be very interesting if we use him as kind of an off-tank. I think I'll go with Scourge of the Waste, so put that on my assassin. Ability Orb. Who do we want? Maybe the assassin. Yeah, I think we go with the assassin here. Let's go for one more elite. We do want to make use of our Wheel of Fortune after all. Bandit Baron. Enemies' active abilities cost an additional 20% MP, and you gain 20% of the MP expended. I see. Shakedown. Deal 25% attack damage to all enemies, and remove a random positive effect from each. Steal one of the removed effects. If an enemy doesn't have an effect removed, they bleed for 100% attack damage over 10 seconds. Whew. 2 to all enemies, huh? Well, there's not a whole lot we can do. We can't prevent bleed. This guy has a decent amount of HP. We could probably move the Royal Morningstar away and put something else there. So our Berserker can to different random enemy. That's also not great in this fight. The negate would probably help. You can apply quite a few negates that way. Also increases your self-healing thanks to the extra max HP. They're resistant to stun. That's not really gonna do a whole lot. Sure. Silence and gain ruin. The silence could be useful. Oh, we don't really need the silence from there because we already have quite a bit of silence from our Assassin's Blade. Yeah, that seems no problem at all. Blade of the Fallen. At the start of each combat, gain Divine for 3.5 seconds. Divine, you are immune to all damage. Interesting. Warlord's Burden. At the start of combat, take piercing damage equal to 50% of your max HP. Gain 20 attack and 15% speed. That wouldn't be bad on the Berserker. Godbreaker. The attacks deal an additional 20 piercing damage to your target and all adjacent enemies. Any enemies damaged by this item have a 20% chance to be stunned for 1 second. I think we replace our current stun item with the Godbreaker. Because this one lowers speed. But that might be a good support item to have on the cleric. Just add some stuns from time to time. I don't think I want to go... Well, spreading ruin. We have the assassin with his powerful blade who can spread ruin. Time for an event. Oh, another fight. Stubborn Fool. Apply Minor Curse. Deal 150% attack damage to random enemy. The Preacher. With the Holy Flame. We should have 4 attacks. That's 6.4. We should have negate up by the time this guy tries to burn us. Although it goes to any adjacent enemies as well. That might be okay though. This also spreads the negates around. Let's make sure at least one person doesn't have to bother with burn. Other than that, I think we're okay. Our Berserker is healing up decently well. Dwarven Cocktail. All enemies take 225 piercing damage. Not bad. Upgraded Stun Barb is tempting. Don't think we need more Whirlwind Access. Tower Shield. He's nice in shorter fights, I guess. I mean, this is upgraded. It should be a decent item to give to, like... the cleric by default? Maybe. Kinda wanna go to this shop. We have quite a bit of gold and a bunch of items to potentially sell. Like a Prayer. The heroes approach a small abandoned chapel, untouched by the restlessness of the town. Feel vile. Gain a holy water. No idea what that does, but it seems like it would be some sort of potion. Prayer of Protection. All heroes gain 50% max HP next combat. Next combat will be a normal battle. I think I'll just gain 1 holy water. All heroes heal 5% max HP every 3 seconds next combat. Or loot, lose morale, gain 3 holy water and 20 gold. It might be worth it. But I'll just gain 1. I don't know what it does yet. All heroes gain Divine for 2.5 seconds. That seems like a very good potion to have. Let's visit the shop. Crown of the Banshee. When you're knocked out, you continue fighting for 5 seconds. Enemies will ignore you. Can only activate once per combat. No, I don't think. Plane of Fallen. Bandithood, Royal Morningstar, Rod of Casting. We have seen all of these before. I think I'm just gonna go for some upgrades here. What is this on 2-star? To all enemies. Oof. Yeah, I know about that. Sometimes I do want to do that, but not always. I think the Godbreaker is our best upgrade right now. 40 piercing damage and 40% chance to stun. Honestly, Godbreaker would probably be better on the Assassin. Whirlwind Axe is also a tempting upgrade. Yeah, let's go with the Godbreaker. And I think I move it to the Assassin. No, only if I need the Shadow Blade, maybe. I think it's better on the Berserker. Let's go for another 2 battles. Hope to gain some morale by perfecting them. I think this is a good fight for the Shadow Blade, and the Godbreaker goes on the Assassin. And I think we might want to switch out Whirlwind Axes here. So we have better crowd control with the Scorch and the Godbreaker. Nope, I actually think all of that should be on the Berserker. Because he scales better with attack speed. I think. Arguments to be made for both. The Shadow Blade is definitely better on the Berserker though. So I think we do it like this. These guys with the frail defense, the guard oath. I don't want my Berserker tanking 2 of those, that would be a bit scary. I could make it like this. I hope my gladiator can survive that. I'm not sure, honestly. I'm not sure. These guys have frail defense and piercing, huh? Not piercing, negate. Can we focus down the guard captain with the assassin? That might not work out. Well, we can try. Let's go. We might want to use the fortifying brew here, in case we feel like that's... Yep, I'm using it. I want the defense on the gladiator. Maybe it wasn't necessary, but I'm not sure. Book of the First, Impaler and Ascension Cloak again. Having an Ascension Cloak could be nice sometimes. I should have sold some of my stuff. I forgot that you could do that. Sniper Viper. Gain hidden. Gain 60 starting MP. Target the back row first. Camp your firm attacks. Frost Shot. Deal 400 attack damage and apply 5 frost to your target. They are pretty slow firing, but if they get a second shot off against my backline, 480, you can probably survive a second hit. Two back alley brawlers targeting my Berserker is also not very nice. This 715. That's gonna be close though. I do think I do want to split the incoming attacks between my Berserker and Gladiator. I think the back alley brawler, we can take that one down fast enough for my Berserker to be okay. Let's switch in a potion. We might have to silence these snakes. Oh no. They're both going for my cleric. Yeah, I'm silencing them right now. Maybe that wasn't necessary. My cleric could have been fine. Gain immunity to disarm. Huh. Cosmos Mantle. 70 starting MP, 10 death. 70 starting MP. Not really that useful on my characters. I'm gonna take the Enchanter's brand. Just in case we need to deal with a heavy disarm guy. Whew! The mercenary crew. Krieg, the bloodthirsty. 2k HP. Furor. Your target changes randomly after each attack. If you have no allies, your attack causes the target to bleed for 60% additional attack damage over 10 seconds. Eviscerate. Deal 100% attack damage. If you have no allies, deal an additional equal to the number of bleeding enemies. Okay. Barber the Exalted. You always target the enemy with the highest HP. Your attack is reduced by 450 and cannot gain MP while you have allies. Passive ability. This one is pretty harmless. Attack is reduced by 450. And cannot gain MP. Yeah, he's really harmless once he has as long as he has allies. Maybe we should ignore Barber. Grogan the Brute. Attackers reduce their attack by 1. If you have no allies, gain 200 frail defense. Sweeping blow. Deal 200 attack damage to your target, stunning them for 3 seconds and moving them away from their adjacent allies. Active ability. Who do we want to target first? Who do we want to leave for last? I think Barber might become very scary once they're the only one left, but they're predictable. They will always go for my Gladiator. The Lion Dude first. Yeah, I can see them being very scary by the end. I think Krieg seems... we have to kill Krieg before Grugan anyways. Now everyone is targeting the Gladiator. This guy is targeting randomly though. So we have this guy 450 reduced attack, so he's only gonna deal like 30 DPS or something. The Brute is the main problem right now. But I think if we leave them for last, we'll be fine-ish. Gladiator won't get healed on the other side of the fight, so that might be a problem. I wish I could take down Grogan first, but that seems... or rather... maybe we try to leave Creek for last? Well, I guess the assassin will be doing a lot of disruption on these enemies. A Berserker. Any items we want to swap in? I don't think so. Maybe we want to replace the stun barb with something more useful. We don't really have anything that's really more useful than that though. Let's see how this goes. We do have the holy water in case we need it. Gladiator is holding up fine. They got moved away. The assassin got killed. And there we go. Lost 2 people. So we lose 2 morale, but we didn't manage to win the fight. A life-giving chamber again. Ragnarok. Every 9 times you attack, deal 250 attack damage to all enemies and apply a burn for 250 attack damage over 10 seconds. That would be very nice on our Berserker. There's also the Deathbringer. Mana Spring Elixir. All heroes gain 7 MP on attacks for 6 seconds. That's not a whole lot, but it's nice. Let's go Ragnarok. That fits well with the Berserker as well, so... that is just better than the Shadow Blade, I assume. We might want to add in some more healing or some more tankiness. Maybe a Paladin would be good. Gives us Aegis. You and all adjacent heroes gain shield equal to your defense, plus 100. And has Consecrate, your attacks burn your targets and any adjacent enemies for 40% attack damage over 10 seconds. As passive. We don't want to build around the passive, but the Aegis would be good. Paladin also have decent health and defense, so that's probably a good idea. I guess another option would be the Juggernaut. The stun is nice. Certainly. I think I like the Paladin. High defense and gives us some shielding. Let's move ahead. The time is nigh, heroes. The castle has been lost. Whatever horrors you find in there, feel no remorse in striking them down. Horrors? The evil not only turns allies against you, but it replicates the strongest of its conqueror foes as an invading force. What were they before? They were Revka, as was I. When our realm was threatened by a great unknown force, our old one told us to flee. When I refused, the others cast me out, stranding me here. Old one? So... the oracle stayed here. The others fled. Huh. Not sure. At the heart of every realm is an ancient entity known as an Old One, cursed with an eternal sleep. The old ones have great influence over those who grow upon them, which is why my people agreed to create the seed and flee. The seed? Unlike other realms, when my people pass on, our energy goes back to our old one to create a new life. The seed was the collected life energy of all our people. It beamed through the stars until fate chose a realm to be born anew. What was their fate? I fear the old one of the realm they found was nothing like our own. They have become a twisted abomination of what they once were. I pray that they can still be saved. Let's make haste. Gain 2 more potion slots, 2 more goals from all sources. Healing received by all heroes is increased by 20%. Or items received from combat and events are twice as likely to be upgraded. I think I want to go for the star. That sounds very nice with our current build. Courtyard. Royal menageries was once a sight to behold. The king's exotic beasts are now loose and hunger for the magic of which they were starved. The castle, this noble homestead, was the evil's first target. Members and protectors of the court still roam these halls among the invading forces. Not sure what that means. The dungeon. Those shackled and forgotten by society now rise anew. The dregs seek revenge and will rebuff death itself to enact their justice. Boss battle is in the dungeons. Let's take a look at the dungeons first. Risen Savage. Spite. Once defeated, apply 3 revenge to the enemy who has dealt the most damage. Revenge take damage equal to 10% of any attack and active ability damage you deal. Reduced by defense and shields. Negate would be nice, as would be the cleric's healing to counteract that. Retaliate. Deal damage equal to your missing HP to your target. Oh. That is very scary. We have a Risen Drag. Death Rattle. Once defeated, apply revenge to all enemies. Passive ability. Ransack. Deal 150% to your targets. Deal a random positive effect and apply Leech. Leech means attackers are healed for 10% of the attack and active ability damage they deal to you. Undying Ward. Abilities when allies will continue fighting after falling in battle. Can't perform attacks. Expire. Your HP is reduced to 0. Active ability. So it dies after 15 seconds. Can we kill it faster than that? With the assassin, maybe? 1000 HP? That might take a while. It still seems reasonable to attack it first. Yeah, I should definitely move the paladin over. That is true. It does have good defense. The paladin still needs some items. Defense increasing items would be nice. Maybe what I do is this. Move 1 enemy off the paladin. Probably not a great idea. Probably do this though. Move 1 enemy off the gladiator in case they fall to low health. I will upgrade the paladin's Aegis. I want more shielding. Starting MP and increasing speed seems okay. Well, speed is not really a thing for the paladin, but abilities, I think it's time to upgrade the gladiator. That's 220 HP extra. That does make quite a difference. I think I like this setup. Wait, the paladin still has a slot open. Let's give him just a 15 defense item for a little bit more shielding, mostly. Look at that Ragnarok damage stacking up there on the from Berserker. Crack Cleaver, Noble Ward, Ropes of Absorption, steal 1 MP from attackers. I could see that being good on the Paladin. Probably better than the Songbird. Let's go for the middle one this time. Healing Ward. Prevent all enemy healing effects. Can perform attacks. Passive ability. Prevent all enemy healing effects. That's a problem. Convert. Heal all allies in the front row for 50% of your total prevented healing. Resets prevented healing. That is dangerous. 30 starting MP. Your allies gain 10% of the MP expended by enemies. Mark for that. Apply Doom to your target, reduce their defense by 30 and remove all shield. Okay. Twisted Subject. Your attacks reduce your target's max HP by 25 and heal you for 10% max HP. That is not too big of a deal. Deal 150% attack damage to your target, gain 20% speed and 5 MP on attacks for 4 seconds. Can the... That ward is a pain? Yeah, it looks like it. We only have the assassin who can really target it. I guess Ragnarok helps. Godbreaker would help if we move the Berserker over to the other side. We do have the shielding from the Paladin, which is not healing, so that might still work. The incoming DPS isn't that high. Maybe we're okay. I do know what Doom is. Doom is after 6 seconds take 80% max HP in damage. War Mage is great stuff. At the start of combat and when you attack, gain a shield equal to 50% of your attack. Whenever you attack? Wild. 50% of your attack. That would be amazing on the Berserker if we want them to tank. An upgraded Shadow Blade isn't bad. We really have these artifacts who are doing the same job much better. This could be on pretty much anyone. The Gladiator can use that quite decently as well. That's 50% of your attack, so about 27 shield each attack. That isn't bad. Start of combat and when you use your active ability, gain a shield equal to 150% of your attack and gain 5 defense. Yeah, I think the Crystal Weaver is better than the Great Staff, mostly because it also grants defense. I might still take the Great Staff, because it's worth more. Well, then I could just as well take the gold. Well, the gold doesn't give us extra options in combat. We can sell the mage stuff for 40 gold, so there's no real reason to take the gold. And Ragnarok is just so much better than even an upgraded Shadow Blade, right? Naps would be great on the Paladin, yeah. That makes sense. I could give you the great stuff and then give the Paladin the Naps. Especially with the Ropes of Absorption, that makes a lot of sense. Let's take a look at this event. A hooded figure is standing beside the path with a troublesome grin. Huh, untainted. Come, I have wealth. Buy a random potion for 10 max HP permanently. Buy a random item for 50 max HP permanently on all heroes. And upgrade a random item for 30 max HP permanently. The potion seems like a decent deal. If we manage to save it for the boss. 10 HP is not a whole lot. I will get one potion here. Bogjaw. Just trying to save that for the boss battle or something. What is this? A Mimic Hoarder. Once defeated, deal 100% attack damage to all enemies and all allies, gain 40 MP. Smash and Grab. Deal 200% attack damage to your target, move your target to the area opposite yours. Redirect any enemies targeting you, except your target, to their next target. Redirect any enemies targeting you, except your target, to their next target. Okay, so that guy tries to make, like, dual 1 versus 1 situations. Infested armor. Gain 600 shield, gain 20 shield per second. Deal damage to your target equal to your current HP. Seems like we should focus on that guy. And then there's the Confessor spawn. Maybe like this. Target the infested armor first. A gladiator gets healed by the cleric. That seems reasonable. We don't have to deal with burn here. Or with disarm, I don't think. Sounds fine. Paladin is down. Maybe I should have had the Berserker off tank instead. But it's okay, we only lose 1 morale. Lover Safeguard. While you have 1 or less adjacent allies, you and an adjacent ally gain 12 shield per second. That is nice. I could see that being useful sometimes. Like in a situation like that, I could put it on the cleric. And that would be helpful. I do want to visit the merchant, I think, so let's stay in the middle and go for another fight. Meeting of the Minds. Court Wizard. Gain 5 negate and 500 shield. While your shield is active, apply frost to attackers. Mold Magic. Remove a random positive effect from your target. If successful, deal 150 attack damage to your target and all allies gain 200 shield. Confessor Spawn and Twisted Subject. Confessor Spawn is my main problem right now. Kinda want the Confessor Spawn to attack the Paladin while tanking the Twisted Subject with the Gladiator or something. Maybe we do this. Tank it with the Berserker for now. 649. The Berserker can't out-heal that. No way. I think we have to tank something with the Paladin. Maybe we move the Paladin over there. The Cold Wizard is relatively low damage. I'm not too confident in the Paladin's chances here. 275 shield. So about 1000 HP to work with. That might actually work. Or it might not work. The shield got stolen. No, the defense buff got stolen. Brain Sage. For every 50 MP you expend, heal the weakest hero for 200 HP over 10 seconds. That could be helpful. Oaken Knot for the healing, also an option. 2% max HP every 2 seconds. That would be decent in the Gladiator for sure. I should move the Ascension Cloak onto the Paladin in situations like these. I'll go for the upgraded Brain Sage here, I guess. Okay. Let's get some upgrades or maybe some good items. We'll see. You heal for 50... Ah, this thing. Tempting. Maiden's Mirror. When you heal a hero by any means, a random damaged hero is additionally healed for 30% of the value. Who is healing the most? The Cleric by far. That sounds very, very good. What does it upgrade to? 60%? Yes. And then I think we can sell these Cobra's Reaches. I think we can also sell at least the unupgraded Stambarb and the Royal Morningstar. And the Vampiric Guard? Not so sure. Giant's Club probably. Let's see what this upgrades. Gain immunity to burn, poison and bleed. Gain immunity to bleed with Vampiric Guard would be... Wow. That might be what we need to do here. Although we could instead upgrade Ragnarok and just deal even crazier damage. No, I feel like shoring up our defenses is more important here. You know, with this low attack, the War Mage's great stuff is actually pretty bad. Maybe I should sell the great stuff. I want to keep the Ascensions. Maybe Brain Sage will be indecent on you. Give you a bit more health. And heal sometimes. You expend... Actually, this should go on the Cleric, so the mirror triggers. Like this. That should be our default outfit for the Cleric. I don't think we need the Shadow Blade anymore. I don't think we need the Songbird. We might also... Maybe the Hex Bag, while nice, has outlived its usefulness because combats are lasting longer. I don't think so. I think this is still very good. Maybe on the Paladin. I will keep the Safety Slime around. I could sell the Safety Slime and the War Staff. And then upgrade another item. Mirror again. This is also quite good. Symbiote is also a good upgrade. And literally anything here. There's so many good items. What does this upgrade? Makes immune to doom. Maybe we want to upgrade the vampiric guard now. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Immunity to bleed, 40% damage reduction. That makes the gladiator such a good tank. And now we have to fight an elite. We get to fight an elite. Whew. Master of Arms. Well, you certainly have a lot of arms. Steel Storm. Attack all enemies. Active ability. Okay, that's pretty simple and straightforward. Weapon Master. 50 starting HP. He already has his... Well, he will start with the Steel Storm. Rotate your weapon after each attack, altering your speed and applying a different effect. Attacks can either reduce your target's defense by 30, strike twice, strike 2 additional adjacent enemies, disarm your target, or move your target away from their adjacent allies. I think what we do is this. If the gladiator gets moved away, he'll hit the paladin. The assassin will be hit by his attack all enemies, but the assassin can take a few hits. And the Maiden's Mirror doesn't necessarily need to hit only adjacent targets, I think. A random damaged hero. Yeah, that could work. Let's see. Immune to... Not sure. That worked very well. Ability Orb, Esoteric Keystone. You gain 25% of the MP expended by enemies. Ooh, that will be tempting on the Cleric. Doesn't upgrade a great staff. This one is a bit more tempting. Warlord's Burden again. I like the Keystone. Gives us more MP to work with. Maybe instead of a Brain Sage. Maybe instead of a Symbiote. Instead of reducing the cost, we gain extra MP. That is on average gonna be about 2.5 MP per enemy. Maybe the Symbiote is better actually. Sure, let's take this. Let's make sure our gladiator is ready to tank whatever we need him to. Or do we want to increase the poison on the assassin? We haven't really scaled the assassin's attack that much. They're mostly relying on their item procs. Maybe I should have moved the book of the first off of the assassin though. Well, it depends on what we face next. Another shop right away, we can't really afford much. We might go for this shop, but not the next one. Not the immediate one. Tainted Watchers. Steel Bolts. Your attacks and active ability reduce your target's defense by 5. Target the back row first. Deal 100% attack damage to a random enemy 3 times. Active ability. I think we have to have someone over at the assassin side. Gladiator being in the back seems like a good idea. Maybe split the incoming damage here. Then our damage goes on a single target with the assassin and the berserker targeting this guy down. The gladiator can probably tank these guys pretty easily, especially with the cleric healing him. So I think this should be good. Yeah, enemies are starting to go down. Everyone here is still pretty healthy. Liquid Courage. All heroes gain 20 attack and 15 speed for 6 seconds. Very nice potion. Salem's Shadow Boots. Sure. What do we use if we don't need the Book of the First on the Cleric, on the Assassin? Maybe a Stun Bulb. Puzzling Box. The glinting of a small extravagant box catches the eyes of the heroes. The box itself is likely worth a fortune, but seems to be weighed down by an unnatural force. There is no lock, but it is firmly sealed. An inscription reads, "A warped mind can venture places unseen. 20% chance to gain a random event item, lose 4 morale. Repeatable if failed. Or destroy. All heroes gain 3 attack permanently, increases when open attempts fail, but all heroes lose 4 defense permanently." I'll try to open it. We had success immediately. Realm Tooth. Your attacks have a 10% chance to heal all heroes for 20% of your max HP over 10 seconds. Unique. All heroes, huh? That is such a good item on the Gladiator. But it's also good on the Assassin. Even though he has low HP, he attacks a lot. Sure. Let's go for another elite. Maybe get another artifact out of it. Whew! Manticore. That's a lot of HP and defense. This guy's gonna be tough. Well, tanky at the very least. Each time 30% of your HP is lost, deal 100% attack damage to all enemies and stun them for 2 seconds. That's gonna happen 3 times. That should be reasonable. Yeah, I think we can deal with that. Mortal Sting. Deal 150 attack damage to your target, remove a positive effect and apply a poison, dealing 60% attack damage. We're immune to poison on the Gladiator. When your target is defeated, any poisons from this ability are transferred to your next target. Perfect. We're immune to bleeding. So let's move these people over here. And make sure we have the right tank set up. And yeah, I think that should be no problem with the immunity to poison. Yeah, that guy doesn't stand a chance. Necrophage. Your attacks apply leech to your target. Leech attackers are healed for 10% of attack and active ability damage they deal to you. Stacks up to 5 times. Yes. Warlord's Burden again. Avalanche again. Yeah, this one is pretty easy. I think next we upgrade the Assassin's ability. Stack more poison. And I think Leech might serve us better than Realm Tooth here. At least as long as we're fighting against single enemies. What does that upgrade to? To your target and any adjacent enemies. Okay. Vampiric Guard will be great to upgrade. Crystal Weaver. It's also a reasonable upgrade. Ragnarok, obviously. I'll go for the Vampiric Guard. I think Necrophage will usually be better than Realm Tooth. But I might want to keep it around just in case. I think we don't need the Lover Safeguard anymore. Nor the Enchanter Brand. Ascension Cloak I do want to keep. Let's sell the Great Staff as well. And the Shadow Boot. So we can get another upgrade. Maybe the God Breaker is what we want to upgrade? Or the Ragnarok? Yeah, I think I like the Ragnarok more. It's gonna be our main damage source. The Black Helm with the wings can be good. Oh, Final Bastion. I haven't even looked at the items here. At the start of combat and every 5 seconds gain a shield equal to 150% of your defense. Would certainly be good on the Paladin. We could sell the Rel Tooth. That's 40. Maybe we don't need the Ascension Cloak after that. 65. A 17, that's exactly enough. Sure. That's probably gonna be better than the Crystal Weaver on our Paladin. Yeah. Maybe we want to combine these actually. In case our Paladin has to tank anything, that will be helpful. Let's go for another Elite. Oh, multi-target fight this time. Warden. Servitude. Deal 400 damage to all other allies every 3 seconds and gain 30 attack for each ally hit. These guys have 1100 HP, so he's gonna gain... If we leave him to kill all of them, he's gonna hit them 3 times. Now they have some defense, so more than that. But we will have Ragnarok hits. Try not to kill the guys in the back. Oh, because of the revenge they apply? Might want to have the Paladin on this side. And the Rogue here. Like this. Paladin should be a... We could try to use the Book of the First on our Rogue to prevent... You know what? Let's try to prevent some of the revenge we're gonna get applied to us. Oh, I haven't... Deal 100% attack damage to a random enemy and apply a bleed for 200 over 10 seconds. Move the enemy away from their adjacent allies and stun them for 5 seconds. Okay. What do we have? Attack speed, reduce the speed, gain MP. These are harder potions to use, but the speed one, speed reduction one could be... Uh-oh. Let's use it now. I think our gladiator might be fine. I hope so at least. Our cleric is dying. That was a rough battle. Yuki's Hurricane. At the start of combat, increase your speed by 40% for 5 seconds. That could be good on a Berserker. Crown of the Banshee. When you are knocked out... honestly, I don't like any of these. I'll take the gold here. Let's go for the ability orb on the assassin here. The green thing for the gladiator. That could have been good, huh? Corrupting Spawn. Attackers have a 35% chance to miss. Deal 200 attack damage and apply 5 leech to your target. Your HP is reduced to 0. That doesn't sound too bad. They will just kill themselves. Gain 1000 shield. Your attacks apply a minor curse and deal 20% piercing attack damage to your target and any adjacent enemies. Mind Melt. Remove all of your target's MP and apply a burn dealing damage equal to 5 times the amount received over 10 seconds. Increase your target's active ability cost by 30. We might wanna switch things around like this. These guys only have 800 HP, but they will probably get to use their ability. So we should focus on the flare spawn if we can. I think that will be okay. Yeah, that was not a big problem, but our Berserker died. Increase your speed by 2% per second. If I had gotten that earlier, I might have been very interested in that. Still good. Two infested armors, 2 confessor spawns. That is too much damage for the paladin to deal with, I think. I think if I do it like that, I have to focus on this infested armor. The gladiator is immune to doom. Wonder if they even need the cleric's help. I think we can go like this and just use the Maiden's Mirror and the Brain Sage to heal the gladiator. That should work. The negate might be useful here to prevent doom. Nope, the gladiator died. Oh, they're not immune to doom. I haven't upgraded this fully. Uh-oh. Well, we did manage to win the fight at least. Tundra Talisman. Apply frost to all enemies every 3 seconds. That sounds good for longer fights. Attackers have a 15% chance to receive a minor curse. Also not bad. Maybe better than the ropes of absorption. Probably better than that. Giant's Club for the gladiator would be nice as well. But I'll go for the unstable orb over the ropes. And onwards to the boss. Balrog spawn. Attackers reduce their speed by 2% and increase their active ability cost by 2. Annoying. That's annoying for my Berserker. But we do still gain speed on average with the Whirlwind Axe. Lava Plume. Deal 150 attack damage to your target and an enemy directly behind or in front of them. Apply a burn to enemies hit. The area of effect widens on each use. We definitely want the gladiator to tank the hits, because they're immune to burn. The Berserker far away so they can heal themselves. Maybe like this. Hopefully the assassin... Well, we have the necrophage, so the assassin will also have healing. These guys will become immune to burn. Or rather, will gain negate so they can cancel out the burn. That might be good. Although I kind of want the Scourge of the Wastes to go off as often as possible. I think that should be good. So far, nothing too bad has happened. Increased ability cost, right, that was the thing. Now we are burning. And now the enemy is dead. Helm of the Mad King again. Esoteric Keystone again. I get the Keystone. Wasn't the last boss, apparently. The time has come, heroes. We must enter the vessel. What is this? It was created after the corruption. A physical amalgamation of corrupted Revka energy. It allows them to travel between realms. Why was it made? I do not know. However, I can say this is where the fragment they search for originated. And of course, you all as well. Us? Do you not question why you traveled to the tavern in the forest? Why you left your homelands in the first place? I called out to you all, uniting us against the coming evil. Why us? You are the fallen fragments the evil searches for. Disconnected from the hive mind you prospered. Absorbing the knowledge and strength of your respective homelands. Some of you even molded in the shape of folklore and legend. How do you know? I know this because I guided your falling bodies to this realm myself. I knew of the corruption, and that I wasn't going to defeat it alone. Let's make haste. Take this boon for the task ahead. The rest of my strength I must save in order to remove the corruption once you have made it vulnerable. The final fight is upon us. 250 max HP, 30 attack, and 100 HP every 2 seconds. These are some nice benefits. Let's look at this upcoming fight. Corrupted Avatar. Dormant. Gain hidden, gain divine while hidden. Can't perform attacks. So this one is only going to be casting their ability. Well, yeah, they are hidden, of course, and divine. Reabsorb. Deal 100% attack damage to all enemies. Reduce enemies' max HP and gain shield for the damage dealt. 250 max HP lost, huh? We can't take too many of these. Although we can prevent the max HP reduction with the Book of the First, maybe? Let's look what these things do. Split all damage taken among other writhing limbs. Passive ability. Deal 150 attack damage to a target and an enemy directly behind or in front of them. Apply 2 leech to enemies hit. That will happen quite often. So we should make sure that our units are positioned like this, maybe? Paladin probably requires more healing. Yeah, the assassin really did a ton of poison damage there. Ragnarok should definitely help a lot. Oh right, they split the damage taken, so yeah, that should definitely be great. I think I like this positioning. Oh, we still have our orbs to use. Ability orb. Probably on the cleric. Whenever you heal a hero by any means. Well, that happens quite a lot with these items, so. And then I think we upgrade the paladin's Aegis one more time for another 100 defense. Yep. And I think we can safely use our potions here. Let's go with the liquid courage at the start of the battle. Water of life we obviously don't need, but... Mana spring. Let's increase our mana gain by a bit. Okay, tentacles are down. Max HP reduction isn't too bad yet. And there he goes. Astronarch, I thank you for everything you have done and have yet to do. The corruption will need an anchor to be separated from the seed energy. I will be that anchor. If we succeed, tell them our old one still lives but is in great danger. Farewell, my heroes, and good luck. Oh. Oh, you are the true final boss. 10k HP. Not an impressive DPS. Decent defense. Each time 10% of your HP is lost, gain 10 negate and apply 1 revenge to all enemies. We definitely want the Book of the First to be over here. Fated. Equalize the HP of all enemies, ignoring summons. Deal 50% attack damage and 50% piercing attack damage to all enemies. Then remove all shield and 2 random positive effects from each enemy. The Berserker can heal up himself quite easily. But the revenge might become a problem for them. Cleric being here is a problem because then his heal can't target anyone. What if we do this? We might still have to have the cleric here to heal the gladiator, because the gladiator... Yeah, the heals on the gladiator are the most important ones. And the paladin will help defend these two with the shields. I think I like this setup. The book helps these guys not get affected by revenge, especially Berserker, because these guys are doing the most damage. These one barely do any damage, so that's not a huge deal. And I think our items are fine as well. 2.5 MP per second. I think I'd rather have the symbiote on. And we have the Water of Life to revive 1 unit. Attackers have a chance. Maybe we don't need these items like that on the paladin. Yeah, maybe we want to increase the attack speed on the assassin instead. And actually go for a support paladin instead. With the book on him. The shields get removed anyways, right? Maybe make the paladin our supporter. Like attack speed supporter. Probably better this way around. No. Yes. Actually, you know what? Leech can stack. Leech only stacks to 5. We only need 5 hits from the paladin then. So we have the book. And we have the Scorch. That should go well. Let's go. Not much damage incoming at all. The revenge should stack up soon though. But it keeps... it's on relatively low stacks, so I'm not too worried. We dispel it, we prevent it with negate sometimes. Oh, 5 stacks. Never mind. But apparently we just have enough healing that it doesn't bother us much. Nice! That seems like it was the real final boss. The corruption has been vanquished. Corruption difficulties are unlocked. The alchemist is unlocked. Took us 2 hours, 20 minutes, 11 victories, 0 defeats, and 24 flawless victories. So almost 70% of our victories were flawless. Nice. Morale generated 66. Yeah, we ended with 44 of them. Gold collected 1270, 35 items obtained, 14 abilities upgraded, and 10 potions used. We even had a water of life at the end remaining. Yeah. Well, let's take a look at this corruption thing. I want to see what it does. We're not going to start another run, but corruption increases the difficulty of the game. Yeah, it's like an Ascension or Covenant system. Heroes can level up when the corruption level is greater than their own. Leveling a hero reveals a unique aura, but will not make them more powerful. Also, it's just a cosmetic effect, I think. Normal enemies have more HP. We also finished 3 challenges. We have beat the game without losing a battle. Nice. Glad to get that on my very first run. Comedy, have 50 positive effects on a hero at one time. Wow, we had that? Have 50 negative effects on an enemy at one time. Yeah, that one I can believe, with the poison stacking and stuff. 50 positive effects, huh? Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. This was Astronarch. A very unique take on roguelike and auto battler, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'm definitely gonna play this again eventually, because I like it a lot. It's pretty simple early and gets really complex with all the items and abilities later on. So yeah.